If you're 30 and you still think that cardio is the best way to looking and feeling your best, this is your wake-up call. Today, I want to share 5 reasons why strength training isn't optimal. It's necessary. And it's not just science-based, it's human-based. Why does it matter for us? Why do we need it? And I'm not just talking about looking good. I'm talking about metabolism, longevity, mood, energy, how you age. Because here's the thing. I've helped hundreds of people in terms of losing weight, reshaping their bodies. And with everybody I've encountered, there's always something a little different that we need to apply. But the one thing that remains constant is that when we strength train, we build muscle, it completely changes their perspective of fitness, but most importantly, the results that they were actually able to get, and sometimes they surprise themselves. Fun fact that may not be so fun is that after 30, you lose about 3 to 8% of your muscle mass every decade. And it's one of the biggest reasons why people feel weaker, slower, and often softer as they age. But strength training, well, it literally reverses it. Now, it doesn't reverse it to the point where it completely removes it. No, we're human. We get older. Shit's gonna happen. But it does help slow it down. A 2011 study in the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity found out adults who lifted weights 2 to 3 times a week, which is not a lot, preserved muscle mass and can function in their 70s. Meaning, it's a difference between you in a nursing home and you being at home with your grandkids and grandchildren. It's the difference between being able to wipe your own ass at 70 and having to bend over and have somebody else do it for you. To me, that's worth it. Isn't it to you? That was a crazy analogy. Now let's move on to the next point.
Gotta put a knife to this myth. My metabolism is slowing down.
I want to kill this thought that you have in your mind that once you've hit 30, your metabolism just slows down. No. When in reality, you slow down. You move less, you eat more junk, you eat less protein, and you have less muscle. So of course it slows down. Muscle burns more calories at rest than fat. A pound of muscle roughly burns 5 to 7 calories a day compared to 1 to 3 from fat. And that adds up. And here's the thing. I'm not saying don't do cardio at all and cardio is terrible, cardio is bad, cardio is junk and shit, garbage, dog water. I'm not saying that. Cardio is needed because you need it for your cardiovascular, you need it for your heart. And that's why I always recommend either getting at least 10,000 steps a day or at least going on a run 2 to 3 times a week, just moving your feet. So therefore, you're not only building muscle, but you're building your cardio as well too along with it. That's the secret sauce. And that's what Paul did. Paul literally did this for 6 months and lost 41 pounds. And got leaner, faster, stronger while losing weight. And for some of you that just do cardio alone, you just get soft. You don't build any strength. You need to build the strength too. As well, strength training allows you to eat more, do more, and look better doing it. Now, when most people think of lifting weights, they just think of looks. You know, we don't really think of the brain. We don't think of their mental. And to be honest with you, that's why I feel like a lot of times we hear people say, I'm taking a break from the gym to work on my mental health. And for me, I always hate that saying because the gym can shape your mental health into what you want it to be. And I'm not saying that's for everything in terms of mental health, but when it comes to just, confidence in yourself, a little bit of anxiety, a little bit of depression, these things are certain things that sometimes you can control by the way that you act on a daily basis. And I know for me, strength training made a massive change in my life, especially in terms of my mental health. But I'm gonna share it from a different point of view, which is my client, Nicole. I've helped lose 200 pounds in the past 2 years, and to her, this was the biggest change ever. Her mental change was what made this possible for her. Her mental change was actually what made her realize that health, fitness doesn't need to be complicated, and it can be simple, and it can be something that's part of your routine when you know how to do it right and navigate yourself in the right direction. And for her, mental health is absolutely everything.
the biggest part for me was that my mindset was just messed up,
Yeah.
and I had to let some things go. And once I started to just talk it out, like there was sessions where you was like, "Oh, I want you to say this while you're lifting that," and as I'm saying it, it helped.
Yeah.
So it was just a me versus me, and I just didn't want to be the old me. So I just kept focusing on getting to the new me, but in a healthier version.
Yeah.
So through that journey, I cried. Uh, there was doubt. I kept saying I couldn't do it.
Mhm.
Uh, I was letting the fear take over, as you witnessed.
Mhm.
You know, you was very supportive. Like you saw a lot that I didn't see.
Mhm.
And then battling with the nutrition, and then
Mhm.
make the protein was a big thing for me. And then finally, I just said I'm not going to do processed food, and I'm just going to eat. And if it's not cooked, I'm not going to eat it.
Yeah.
And then I just started listening to you more, like the mindset, and just when you would text me after our workout and say, let's try this, or, think about it this way. So,
And once she had this mental shift, that's when everything changed. Her perspective about food, the way she applied it, the way she cooked it, what she ate, the way she approached the gym. Instead of, oh, I have to go to the gym, it's, I can't wait to show up because this is giving me health, not just mentally, but within my heart, within the rest of my life.
Which brings in longevity. Muscle will help you in terms of your longevity. But we'll get into that a little later. In the meantime, what I want you to understand is that strength training will not only bring you some form of mental clarity, but it'll give you more energy, it'll allow you to have better sleep. And yes, lifting weights can do all that if you allow it to. And the reason why I say if you allow it to, if you're going to the gym and you're just going through the motions, you're not allowing it to. But if you're going to the gym and you're pushing yourself, yeah, you'll see those results and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Ever notice how people's back starts to, round a little bit and they start to have like that little limp from that past injury they should have taken care of but they never took care of? Or they start having that shoulder that just, they could reach for the sky and it'll pop out of socket. You ever notice that? Because for some of you, these are things that you could fix by building muscle, going through physical therapy, but you don't.
And let's go beyond that. How about when you wake up in the morning? Most of you have 5 minutes to where you can stretch, but you don't. Those 5 minutes could be the difference maker between your pain holding you back from the things that you want to do on a daily basis and actually being able to do it.
When helping people and they're telling me they're 45 and they can't go up the stairs, and we go back to, what happened in life, things that we could fix, it always ties back to not taking action when they should have. It always ties back to waiting in the perfect time when there was no perfect time. They just had to take the time and make the time.
But also make a routine, a stretching routine that involves 2 to 3, 4, 5 exercises that you can do within a 5 to 10 minute time span that just loosens up your body and just gets you ready for the day.
And I'll give you an example. Me, I've torn my ACL twice in the same knee. This is back about 4 or 5 years ago. No, I'm sorry, 6. When I was playing basketball. When it was time for me to recover, I didn't just do PT. I also worked on the muscle groups that I could work on, and over time made those stronger. And as I progressed with PT, I also progressed in the gym, building muscle while working on my mobility, working on my flexibility. And over time it gave me the ability to, be able to run again. Be able to do the things that I love again and not be in this phase where just one thing just stopping me from enjoying the rest of my life. I couldn't deal with that. But in all reality, having muscle and building muscle will bring a lot of benefits towards you. And I think the best benefit, especially the ones that you tend to love the most, it's, toning up, as you guys like to say. It's a word that, it's not really a word, but it's more like lean for me. But toning up, right? So in terms of leaning out, toning up, having more muscle in your body is going to help you with that. You've probably heard the term of metabolic priming on social media, where people say, we're gonna prime your metabolism for faster fat loss. Well, in reality, they could just tell you, just build muscle by eating your maintenance calories with lean amounts of protein, carbs, and fats that are healthy and can give you the minerals and vitamins that you need to recover optimally, to recover efficiently, while making sure you're sleeping well enough. And if everything's connected, you built a shit ton of muscle in 3 to 6 months. After 6 months, you bring your calories down to 1,800, 1,700, you're gonna lose a shit ton of fat. Because you have more muscle, your metabolism breaks down food faster because you've trained it to. And now, you're at the point where you're at 1,700 calories and your metabolism is gonna all of it, while still leaving room for a deficit. So, for you, when it comes to weight loss, you don't want to just lose weight. You want to build muscle too. You want to look good. So after you do lose the weight, you're like, yeah, baby, you like the abs, girl. No, let me stop. I know for you, past a certain age, you could care less about abs. But at least be healthy. At least be confident in you. At least be able to wear that dress shirt where your chest is out and you feel confident. Arms nice and tight. And you're like, let's go. But yes, if you want the scale to move, you want the mirror to match, you have to find a way to build muscle. And for you ladies out there, you're not gonna get bulky. And even if you do get bulky, it's not bulky like this. You'll never get to this point unless you take steroids. But guess what? You'll be toned. You'll have those nice tricep lines. You'll have those nice ab lines. You'll have those nice shoulder lines. You won't be bulky though. But in all reality, I wanna help you, right? And when I say help you, I'm not here to offer you some course. No, I'm here to just tell you the truth. If you truly want to build a physique, a body that you know you can just feel confident in, I highly recommend you start creating a game plan for the gym right now. You don't need to be a bodybuilder to do this. And you don't need to be a bodybuilder to do any of this. You just need to be somebody that's willing to try. Somebody that's willing to try to work out 3 to 4 times a week. It could be 30 minutes to 45 minutes. It could be chest one day, back the other day, legs the other day, and then from there on, do a little bit of abs and arms the following day. That right there is a split that can help you set a foundation, because over time you can utilize that split to build on it, But start with just those 4. And while starting with those 4, also change your protein sources. Just start with that at first. Instead of getting protein from protein bars and shakes all the time, try fish, meat, different things. And if you can, I would do the same with your carbs. I would change your carbs from less junk to more whole foods, and then maybe just leave 1 meal or 2 throughout the month where you have a carb that you're trying to stay away from a little bit, but just to please yourself so you don't go on a crave hunt, right? But if you do everything I just laid out there for you, you're bound to lose weight, you're bound to get in shape, I promise you. All right? And if that helped you, hope you found this video helpful. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Stay blessed, stay beautiful. I'll catch you next time. I almost forgot how to speak there. Peace.